lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels normal, just hold on me. Just hold on me. Just hold on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will
now we go to the start-finish line for those four most famous words in racing.
Drivers, start your engine.
40 cars roar to life down on pit road, and the drivers adjust themselves in their seats, getting ready for 400 miles of grueling competition on the 2.5-mile tri-oval Daytona International Speedway.
Lions now as they turn down off turn 4. We'll see if Harold Kinman, the trackman, puts up the green. He does, and the Firecracker 400 is underway. Bill Elliott bidding for the lead, going into turn number 1. Davey Allison inside. Let's see if the young fella's going to race him. Everything going very sanitary through the first 2 turns and coming down off the back straight.
The battle for the lead here on the back straightaway, really heating up just like the 4th of July sun here in Daytona. Down on the inside, Ken Schrader trying to make his move. He gets out in front of Dave Marcus and takes the lead. Schrader to the bottom of the racetrack. Buddy Baker rides the high line at Daytona. Schrader and Baker side by side coming off of turn 4. Ken Baker hold it out there. He's in front by 1 car length. They come out of the corner. Schrader hits the wall as they come out of turn number 4. He's out of control, about to go right into the middle of the field. Car goes upside down, slams into the wall as they go across the start-finish line. Harry Gant has crashed. A hard crash on the final lap here at Daytona this afternoon, heading back into the checkered flag. Mike? Kenny Schrader got his car a bit sideways coming out of turn number 4. He took it up high as Dave Marcus cut low underneath him. Marcus got under, made the pass. Perhaps the air got set up, upset.
Round and round they go, and how they'll finish, nobody knows.
The ThunderClap Stock Car iRacing Series usually does its racing on Wednesday night, but here tonight to celebrate the 4th of July and to celebrate Independence Day, we come to a special event here tonight from the Legacy Daytona International Speedway in the 1987 cars for tonight's Case Cracker 200 here at Daytona. Good evening, everybody. My name is Frank Marchese. Thank you very much for making us a part of your evening. As always, my broadcast partner, Tony Trapasso. Tony, we have a wild, wild night in store for us. We broke the filter out. We're having a good night tonight.
Absolutely. It's always a good time whenever we can go into the Wayback Machine and go back to 1987 and watch these guys do what they do in the older car. 200. I'm seeing just guys solo out there going north of 210 miles an hour in the hot lap session. So qualifying is going to be a wild one for sure.
It absolutely is. And we have a different format here tonight than what we're usually used to. We're going to be doing an 8-minute qualifying session, which is actually beginning right this second. Then we're going to have, just if you watch the ThunderClap race this past Wednesday, we have heat races, we have a last chance qualifier, we have a main race here tonight. So it's not just going to be 80 laps here at Daytona. It's going to be a long night ahead of us here.
Be a long night ahead of us, and alcohol will be involved.
Yep, it absolutely will. And just one moment here. As Tony, if you wouldn't mind taking a look at your messages there. We do have a couple of guys on track right now here for this qualifying session. There is the 21 of Roger DeBolt on circuit right now. Shannon Spears on track. Roderick Norman on track. Maurice Barry. A lot of unfamiliar names, at least as far as ThunderClap goes. They opened this race up to whoever wanted to race again, an Independence Day celebration on an off day for the league. So it's going to be a lot of new names we're going to be dealing with here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was just basically to open the field up to make sure that, everybody that wanted to get in could get in. So there's been a couple of minor tweaks that have been done to the format, but other than that, it's still going to be a hell of a night and fun night for sure.
Absolutely. Is looking right now, Brian Haskin coming out on track right now. Shannon Spears will go second on the timing and scoring pylon, at least for the moment. Roger DeBold currently at the top at a 44.54. Roderick Norman, here he comes in the number 55. And Norman, his first lap will be good enough to put him... Actually, I don't think he actually registered a time on that first lap. Now, these things are very difficult to handle. These things do push up quite a bit on corner exits, so we're going to be seeing that all night long, which is why you're seeing guys negate their lap times here at a place like Daytona.
Yeah, very much so, because these cars are such a handful and so heavily sprung. This was before they had the big sway bars on the cars, so the front springs on these things, they call them railroad springs for a reason, because you're talking 2,000 pounds each spring just to keep the front end up off the track at speed. And because of that, you really unsettle the car when you go over bumps, and the transition coming off of the banking in the turns really sends you for a wild ride.
Michael Grant goes to the top, quickly passed up by Thomas Aaron as we're riding on board with Chase Wilson. Wilson completing his second time, and he'll go to the top.
Nice.
SDK having a little bit of issues again trying to keep up here. Apologize for that. It tends to do that here recently since some of the more recent updates.
Jake Waltman out on track in the A&W Root Beer number 6. One of the few Fords that are in the field tonight. Just went to ninth quick on his first lap.
There he is on track right now. 10th quickest after somebody, I believe it might have been Jeffrey Petrello in the number 13, jumped up ahead of him.
Well, Thomas Aaron just went second quick. Our good friend Bo Condon out on track right now as well. Negated his first lap. Justin Clapper jumping up to 14th quick.
He was fine on his first lap.
There it is. It took a couple seconds for it to register.
44.58 for the 25 of Condon. Justin Clapper about to finish his second time. 15th. He will jump up to 8th as Christopher Morse Jr., fastest in the practice session. He is going to go fastest of all right now to 44.25.
Good grief.
Messages again, Tony. As Bo Condon actually hits the wall coming through 3 and 4, so he is done in his qualifying efforts. So we'll see if Morse can wring a little bit more time out of that Chevy Monte Carlo.
And Frank, quick answer is no.
Okay. Christopher Morse, he does go faster. It was a 44.25 last time by, a 44.19 this time by. So Morse
definitely hauling the mail.
Yep, absolutely was. And as far as qualifying goes, we still have 2 minutes left here in this qualifying session. Christopher Morse, Chase Wilson at the top of the field. Now, we do have, again, we had mentioned that there is a heat format here tonight, as well as a last chance qualifier and and the main feature race. The two heats are meant to split the field in half. So we will have half of the field running in the first heat, half the field running in the second heat. Each heat is going to be 20 laps. The top 12 finishers of those heats, given there being more than 12 people in the heat, will get a free pass to the main race. So 24 drivers will be in the main race through the heats no matter what. And then after that, we go to the last chance qualifier, which I believe, Tony, is a 25-lap last chance qualifier. So 25 laps, less cars in that one. And I believe the winner advances into the main race for that, which will be 80 laps here tonight.
It's actually 15 laps for the
okay, so
LCQ.
A 15-lap last chance qualifier. As we're just waiting on the session to run out of time here, which it should do here in the next 30 seconds or so, and then we could get you to the second, we can get you to the first of the two 20-lap heat races that we will be dealing with tonight. And I believe I might get control of my SDK back. Yes, I do. So right out of qualifying.
Don't blame me. I wasn't doing anything this time, so don't blame me.
Well, no, SDK has had these problems here recently where it doesn't want to work. Last night, on Wednesday night, the last time we did this, Tony was messing with me, and now this time it's just the SDK issue. So right now we will go to the first heat, and we'll take a look at the grid for the first heat. Christopher Morris Jr. with a time of 44.186 catches the overall pole, and he will sit on the pole for this first heat race. Chase Wilson will sit on his outside in row number 1.
They're only running one heat. They're not doing two.
Okay, so everyone will be
Yes.
in this heat. So Thomas Aaron and Jake Waltman will make up row 2. Michael Grant and Roger DeBolt will make up row 3. Bo Condon and Justin Clapper in row number 4. Shannon Spears and Maurice Barry in row 5. Kyle Newkirk and Jeffrey Petrello will make up row number 6. Row 7 goes to Jamison McDonald, Steven Liszczynski. Row 8 will see Tim Crawford and Roderick Norman. Row 9 will go to Brian Haskin and Lyle Robinson. Chase Tolbert and Logan Huckabee will make up row number 10. Chris Paul and Dave Horton in row 11. Brayson Riddle and Bradley Stefane will make up row number 12. Row 13 goes to Thomas Salerso and Damon Neeson. Joshua Malin and Riley Ronnie will make up the 28-car field here in this heat. So it will be 100 laps effectively here at Daytona now with just the one heat. So, Tony, an interesting night that we have set up. Basically, it's kind of taking shape of a Formula 1.
Knock, who goes there?
Boy, you scared me to death on that. Hello, who is this?
Justin
Oh,
Clark.
I just
There it
had
is.
to. Oh, I just figured I'd come bars the door in, fellas, because what else would a guy that's about 6 beers deep do?
And that was the main point
There you go.
of tonight. That is one of the main features for this race here tonight. It's called the Case Cracker 200 for a reason. Each driver does need to drink 6 beers total over the course of the night, plus their crew members, if they have a spotter or if they have a crew chief, need to drink 6 as well, and they need to show proof that they did drink the 6 over the course of the night. So that
And tonight's race brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
No, it's not, Tony. So that is
Well, I
for
mean,
tonight.
in their defense, we're sitting still. I mean, this is about the most legal drunk driving you can get away with.
Exactly.
True.
And real quick, boys, while I got you here, because I got to give the headset back to Bob, there is a celebrity driver in the 25. It is Bob Condon for heat number 1. He is getting ready to show these boys how it is done. So watch that 25 to come there through the field.
He's gay.
Fantastic. So there is the 25 currently sitting on the inside of row number 4 as we are getting set to go here for this first race. And Tony, scared me when he entered in.
I didn't know he was coming either.
Yeah, I didn't think you did.
Well, as the field worked its way out of the 3-4 complex, they're wrecking already, and they're going to extend the caution.
Yeah, I kind of figured as Kyle Newkirk was sent around in the
Crawford
back in the 20.
Getting sent as well.
Let's see what happened already.
Oh, look, it's Justin.
Oh, that was yeah, there you go. Probably looked and turned his head to hand the headset back, and there it all went.
Oh, boy.
So, third time's the charm trying to get this point out. It's starting to take the form now with this heat race, this 20-lap heat race, and then the main race. It's starting to take the form of a Formula One sprint race weekend like we just had in Austria. It's kind of a Saturday race before we get into the actual main race.
Yeah, go with that thought. But, I mean, NASCAR's been doing heat racing for decades.
Yes. But again,
whereas Formula One has just kind of started getting into the whole sprint race format thing again.
Right, but as mentioned, we were supposed to do multiple races, but now everyone's in one. It's going to set the grid for the feature. So as it does in Formula One for sprint weekends. Really quick here, just before we get rolling once again here, there is the time and temperature. Just about 5:30 p.m. in sim time. We are expecting a night race here. 77-degree ambient temperature, 88-degree track temperature here tonight, with some winds gusting directly to the east. So, Tony, as we get this sprint race ready to go, it's going to be an interesting night.
Very much so. As something's going on with the 6.
I think
looks like Jake Waltman having issues. What the hell?
Oh,
I wasn't live.
Well, nonetheless, here we go, ready to go here. 20 laps here for this first heat race. Well, the sprint race effectively here at Daytona. Christopher Morse Jr. gets out to the front. The 25 of Condon already around. Staying green at least for the moment. There is a lot of carnage, though, in turns 1 and 2.
Yes, there are. As we've got about a 10-car breakaway at the front of this piece. As Jake Waltman making an early move with Thomas Aaron on the top side. And Aaron's into the wall, as is the 21 of Roger DeBold.
Boy, 904 of Michael Grant came swinging to the outside and into the fence, and that we're going to see a lot of that tonight with these guys, not just with the alcohol level, but as well as just that's how these cars handle. Justin Clapper looking to the inside of that is the 28 of Chase Wilson. In front of him as Christopher Morse and Jake Waltman go side by side for the race lead.
Morse on the top side, Waltman on the low side. Ford on Chevy battle. As I'm kind of digging the paint scheme that Chase Wilson has on the 28 right now. Just a plain street-looking Thunderbird. And those were some sharp-looking cars back in the day.
Absolutely were. As that's the 904 of Bobby Grant that we just saw hit pit road. 6 of Jake Waltman still in control right now. He's got Christopher Morse right to his outside. The 21 of Roger DeBold right there as well. That would be with the 14 of Maurice Barry.
And DeBold running the only Buick Grand National in the field tonight.
At least only Buick Grand National, at least for the moment, as we ride on board here. This is with Justin Clapper.
As they come up on Condon. Oh, hang on to her.
Oh, maybe not. Oh, contact hard hit into the fence.
Most of the lead pack going for a ride.
DeBold around. So was the 14 of Barry. We stay green. I'm thinking no cautions here for this stage as now we go. Oh, yeah, that's the monster number 13 of Jeffrey Petrello around.
The good news is unlimited fast repairs tonight.
I would hope so.
That's the good news. The bad news is you still have to tow sometimes. But that street-looking version of Chase Wilson going to be leading us now.
Jake Waltman about 3.5 seconds back. There's the 69. He was involved in something a little bit earlier on. This was the first lap incident, as we'll try to catch you up on everything that happened there. There's the 25 getting down on the apron. 20 piling in, 3 piling in, 69 getting some of it. So the 23 around. Then a little bit later on, Jeffrey Petrello, this is just before, there's Petrello getting out of control, going through the grass. Thought he might have been able to save it, but just not quite.
Almost had it.
Then we were riding on board with it when it happened, with Clapper coming out of turn 4. Actually, let's try it from here. That's the 93 of Thomas Aaron. Trying to, there we go. Justin Clapper getting into the fence there. Down into the 14. 21 of DeBold was already around. He just barely nudges that inside wall. And now you're caught up.
As had quite a few takers bringing them down pit side to get 4 Mr. Feelgoods and a tank of Go Fast.
Jake Waltman just does win the race out of pit road. Really wheeled that thing out of there.
Yeah, he did.
Roger DeBold still in the box. Roderick Norman.
Maurice Berry actually won the battle off pit road by taking 2.
There you go.
Hey.
Bradley Stefane in the 23 on his way out. Roderick Norman on his way out.
Waltman's got to be hammered right now because he just shot up the track.
Might be trying to just get heat in those tires, because it does take a minute to heat those things up.
He almost just clattered the wall.
And he's actually going to pull it off and stop. At least he might be having a, you know what? He might be having a rig issue. See, with the way his wheel just turned in, he might be having an issue either with VR or with the rig. Now he's got it rolling.
Yeah, that's a good possibility.
Especially with the way he was weaving that thing around coming out of the pits. He was probably trying to suss out some form of issue.
That makes sense.
And he's bringing it down pit road.
You know, I'm looking at a lot of the paint schemes on these cars tonight, and I'm really digging the retro feel that we've got in this league tonight.
Absolutely, not just the cars, but the broadcast as well. If you're watching the broadcast, yes, it is staticky. Yes, that is by design.
Because we've fed this through Frank's old VHS recorder.
Yes, we have.
So you're watching the part of the movie that's live. We are live now, sir.
Yeah.
When does this happen? Now. You're watching now.
Christopher Morris playing with the pace car. Tim Crawford lining up to the outside. Barry Haskin in the 27, with the 14 of Maurice Barry in row number 2.
Lights are out on the pace cars. We get ready to turn them back loose here. 7 laps going to be in the books. And I don't know what Tim Crawford's hit, but whatever it didn't move very much. Because the front of that car is paved.
So 12 cars on track right now that you're seeing on screen. Everyone else trying to catch up. Green flag is back in the air.
Christopher Morris. And we got cars around again.
22 of Tim Crawford gets spun around. Same with the 69 of Shannon Spears. For that happening right at the front of the field, there's not a lot of guys that got knocked out. There's Roger
doing
DeBolt.
a great job to avoid him.
94 of the 904 of Michael Grant tried to take a run with Chase Wilson. Didn't work out too well for him. 14 into the fence.
14 around.
Yep. Bo Condon keeping it in control. So does the 14 for that matter. 904 of Michael Grant catches a little bit of the wall. And Christopher Morris has now found himself out in front to the tune of a full second as around go the 27 of Haskin. Watch out. Still a hard hit into that fence. Same with the 28 of Wilson. Christopher Morris, Bradley Stefane, Roger DeBold, Justin Clapper, Roderick Norman, the top 5 at the moment.
DeBold and Clapper going side by side into turn number 3. Stefane right in front of him gets loose. Hey.
Hard hit for the 21, just as hard for the 5. The 20 comes piling in of Kyle Newkirk, and the caution comes out.
Oh, my goodness. That was some hard hits. Yeah. There's our first thank God this is a simulator moment of the night.
First, I want to go back and see. Watch how far Brian Haskin has to travel to end up where he ended up. Oh. Fortunately for the 28, he was able to straighten out a little bit. That was a hard hit for him. And then down at the other end of the circuit, it's the 23 of Stefane. He's going to get loose in the center of the corner, corrects back up into the 21. 20's coming, trying to find down low, and then right nose to nose with the 55.
There's a lot of cars still on pit road. I don't think they had their fast repairs checked.
Here's Newkirk. This is him coming down. Sees the wreck coming down. There's the 55. About as hard as you could hit. Roger DeBold's view, at least looking back from him. Well, you could just barely see that hit between the 20 and the 55. Hard.
That was a mess.
Yeah, that was. But in all of that, 65 of Justin Clapper somehow, some way, if he could find the luck on Wednesday night that he just found there, he might be all right.
Yeah, absolutely. To quote my father whenever we used to go golfing together, I'd rather be lucky than good any day.
Tony's computer is on fire, but...
Yes, and that is our good friend Chris Worrell.
Yes, it is. So we are just about halfway through. We will be halfway through this first stage. here and now. As far as cars still on track, Justin Clapper, Maurice Barry, Jake Waltman, Christopher Morse, Chase Wilson, Michael Grant, Shannon Spears, Tim Crawford, Bo Condon, Roderick Norman, Roger DeBold, Bradley Stefane, Damon Neeson, Thomas Aaron, Steven Lashinsky, Jeffrey Petrello. Pardon me, not Petrello. Everybody else, though, is still running in some way, shape, or form here tonight. There goes the 20 by of Kyle Newkirk. Only 10 drivers currently on the lead lap. And that would be pretty much all the guys you see doubled up right now.
Correct. So Condon in the 25 is going to be the final car being scored as a lead lap runner. See him pretty far back right now, though. Lights are out on the abomination that iRacing calls their pace car now. As field working its way into the 3-4 complex, doubled up again. And I'm thinking some of these guys didn't check their fast repair box.
That's what I'm thinking as well. And then again, also, if you're getting caught a lap down at this stage, probably because of your tow time, some guys maybe going back to get a couple more cans as well.
Getting their drinking out of the way now.
So Justin Clapper will lead the field down. We will have 8 laps to go. Watch the 27 and 25 in the back.
Good.
Green flag back out.
Clapper getting a decent getaway. Not really jumping out to too huge of a lead yet. But here comes the peloton on his tail as the 14 of Barry dropped down in front of Waltman. Now goes up to the top side to throw the block on Christopher Morris Jr. Jr. gives him a shove coming out of 2. They're 4 wide down the super stretch.
Jake Waltman in that Thunderbird at the back of that line, at least for the moment, getting back on circuit. Everyone making it through, looking just fine right now. Out the back of Christopher Morse's number 72.
This is fine. Everything is fine.
This will work.
The house is on fire, but everything's fine.
So I'm on board with Morse. Everything's looking good right now. Sure, he's got a handful of car. But you look up in front, everything looks fine. You turn around, and yeah, it's not so fine anymore. Also, if you look at the speed, by the way, 214 for Morse going down into turn 3.
That's hauling the mail.
Absolutely. Oh, around goes the 14 off of the 63. Oh,
ouch.
big hits in the back. 14-3, 904, 55. 22 is involved in there somewhere as well.
Oy.
There's the 20. Caution is out, and rightfully so. Told you, look forward. Everything's fine. Second you start looking out the back.
Rip the rearview mirror off and keep it pointed forward.
It's Damon Neese. Boy, those are really hard hits. 20 of Newkirk. Right on board with Michael Grant. Sees the wreck. Boy, that's the 63 on his side.
Yeah, Justin Clapper just went for a wild ride.
Tim Crawford's perspective. You just hear how much he's having to. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a shot. That was definitely a shot.
That was on board of Crawford. We'll see now Justin Clapper's on board.
Kyle Newkirk saying he was on the brakes also. So
that was for that last incident.
That car just did not want to stop. Maurice Perry saying, I think I just died.
Justin Clapper sideways up on the wall. Newkirk got a piece of this one as well. We'll take a look and see what happened with him. He's trying to avoid the mayhem in front of him. Hits a little bit of debris, catches grass.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Couldn't quite keep it straight enough. Is the 28 involved in that as well?
Mm-hmm.
Back live. And what do you know? We've only got a couple laps left in this mad dash.
Yes. Yes, they're already working lap 17 of 20.
And we got to do another 80. Sprint race is almost over.
Hopefully everybody's getting it out of their system now, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
I don't know. I mean, these things, it's really not easy to handle one of these cars. Again, these things do not have restrictor plates, so it's not just a wide open race the way you're used to seeing around Daytona and Talladega of today. These things are a handful. There's next to no downforce on these things. There's a lot of turning involved. You do have to let off in these corners, especially as the run goes on, the tires get older. It is a chore to drive one of these things around this racetrack.
A chore to drive one sober, and most of the field is annihilated right now. Like 3 sheets to the wind, praying to the porcelain god in the morning, and your liver sitting next to you in bed with a cup of coffee when you wake up going, dude, I don't know what I did to make you mad, but I promise I'll never do it again.
Now, granted, 6 was the minimum.
Right.
There was
and a lot
no
of these guys
maximum
pre-gamed.
set. Yes. Yeah, 6 was the minimum. There was no maximum set. So we know all these guys in the field will have at least done 6.
Oh, I know one of the teams that had signed up for this race, there were 2 guys that were going to be the designated drinkers for the team because 2 of the members were underage.
Yeah, 6 of Waltman is underage, so yes, he does have maybe quote-unquote cheating there, but...
No, he's got a designated drinker just because he's a sober Sally.
I meant more that he's racing a bunch of drunk people, but then again, it's...
He's got to avoid the wrecks.
Exactly what, yeah. It's not just enough to race around him, you got to beat him as well and avoid him. It'd be a heck of a lot easier if it were one of the cars of today to do that, but as you do.
Yeah, but where's the fun?
No, exactly. Loving the 87s. We're seeing a lot of Chevrolet. The Monte Carlo, by far and away, is the crowd favorite. A couple of Fords up here. Jake Waltman's in a Ford. Chase Wilson's in a Ford. Michael Grant is in a Ford as well. Damian Neeson is in the Buick LeSabre. Only one to start this race that was in the Buick. Everyone else in the Monte Carlo.
As the field comes out at turn number 4.
Well, all but
Junior
one is Snoop goes spinning in the back. Go ahead.
The other junior going to lead us back to green. That is Christopher Morris Jr. in the 03. Being scored as the 72, though. As he and Waltman go side by side into turn number 1. Waltman on the top side, Morris Jr. on the low side, and they're still slugging it out behind them. Is that Spears and Condon going after each other?
Shannon Spears in the 69, Condon in the 25 on the outside. Chase Wilson, here he is towards the back of this group. Roger DeBold is back there as well. So is Michael Grant. Those are the only 6 drivers that are in contention to win this sprint race here. As
not anymore.
Yep, no, around goes Crawford into the fence. The 99 of Liszczynski having issues as well. There's the 904.
Clapper ate the wall again.
Yep, there's the 14. Damaged again. We're racing back to the line. Around go. Down, way down goes Morse. Keep it out of the fence. No. Another hard hit for Morse down on that inside of turn 1. Waltman and Spears now to the end.
Condon right there as well, as those are the only 3 drivers that are still at speed. Hauling it off into turn number 3, 212 miles an hour for all 3 of them. Waltman looking in his rearview mirror, seeing Spears back there. Spears not quite close enough to make anything happen as they come to the stripe. Give it to Waltman for heat race 1.
Jake Waltman wins the sprint here at Daytona. Shannon Spears second, Bo Condon third, the only 3 to finish on the lead lap. As we said, he may be sober, but he's got to avoid them all, and that's exactly what he did.
As the 28 of Chase Wilson going to cross for 4th.
Really,
Michael Grant, yeah.
Really quick, we'll take a look at what happened there because it was big, and I don't know when the session's going to cross over. So this starts with Steven Liszczynski hitting the wall in 3 and 4, slides down the circuit. Big impacts for him. And then just in front of them again, just insanity. Roderick Norman. Ooh, very hard hit for Roderick Norman. 3 of Damian Neeson involved. And that will do that. So while we do the warm-up race, we'll do as we usually do and send it to Terry Adams for our national anthem. Thank you very much to Terry Adams, who performs the national anthem for all of the ThunderClap events every single Wednesday night. Here is our upcoming schedule, and we have races coming back up. Seasons starting, seasons ending. The CleanRacing.net Truck Series will run round number 2 from Nashville Superspeedway coming up on Monday night. And then it is a Tuesday night triple header. The Night Shift Racing League comes back for their penultimate round of the season, 11:50 a.m. Eastern Time. The Rick Motec Cup Series debuts here at Daytona at 8:40 p.m. Eastern here at Daytona. And the Western States Racing League will run round number 2 of their season at Dover, a 10:05 p.m. Eastern Time start for those guys. And then on Wednesday night, it'll be the debut race for the Ghost Xfinity Series. We know the Ghost Cup Series. They're now running an Xfinity Series. That will be starting up this upcoming Wednesday night at 7:20 p.m. Eastern Time, as well as the second to last regular season race here for these guys, the ThunderClap Stock Car iRacing Series, on Wednesday night in the Xfinity cars at Homestead Miami Speedway. The standard 8:10 p.m. Eastern Time start for these guys in that one. So the field rolling off here to begin the last race, well, the feature race here tonight. And then there were 13, as a lot of guys not continuing to run here this evening. Tony, why don't you bring us the order?
Jake Waltman and Shannon Spears going to be scheduled to roll off on row number 1. Looks like Waltman getting an EOL penalty for something. Bo Condon and Chase Wilson making row number 2. Christopher Morris and Roger DeBold going to roll off in row number 3. As Michael Grant, Tim Crawford making up row number 4. Roderick Norman, Justin Clapper in row number 5. Row 6 is going to see Maurice Berry and Kyle Newkirk, Bradley Stefane and Damon Neeson rolling off in row 7. Row 8, Brian Haskins.
I think that's it as far as
that's
who
it.
is. Yeah, so it is.
That is it. Waltman has chose to pit start.
As has a couple of other guys, Chase Wilson, Maurice Barry, Michael Grant, Damian Neeson, also electing to pit start here for the start of this feature race. That may be a success penalty, by the way, for Jake Waltman.
There you go. That is because they're not drinking, so they are getting the 1 lap penalty. As the field works its way out of apparently 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab a beer, because it's time to get it on in Daytona. Race fans, it's showtime.
Waltman, Wilson, Barry, Grant, Neeson, all coming off of pit road here for the start of this race. Bo Condon currently out in front. Christopher Morse on the inside. Looking 3 wide here.
3 wide.
Yep, the 69 of Shannon Spears. Looking in the middle.
Shooting up through the gap. Condon wisely backing out of it. Condon into the wall going into 3.
Keep it straight. Yes, he does. So we'll keep going. Wow, just the view of these cars sliding up off of these corners. It's so good, so realistic.
Contact.
Yep, that's Morse and Spears. Around goes Stefane. Stefane in the 23, somehow able to keep it straight.
Oy. That had bad intentions written all over it.
Bad news, moreover.
Roger DeBold and Spears going side by side now. Newkirk goes for a ride.
Shannon Spears, Bo Condon pushing. There's Justin Clapper in the 63. Around goes Spears into the side of Clapper. Liszczynski just does make it through. Stefane does not. Caution is out.
Boy.
I think there'll be a little bit more on it here with the cautions in this one. Oh, the 14 of Maurice.
There was a car there, bud.
Boy, was there.
I mean, he just plowed into that like he didn't see it.
And this is what we were talking about before. You know, it's not as straightforward as pin it and turn the way it is in cars of today. you do have to worry about grip. Your cars will have issues. As watch the 14 of, whoa. Let's jump on board with Bo Condon. Boy. That little gap there, I think that might have been his head.
Yes. It was.
From Clapper's perspective, just nothing you could do except try to accelerate past it. And just didn't have enough time.
Yeah, that was ugly with a capital UG.
So it's Jake Waltman aggressively warming up the tires in the 06, trying to scuff them up a little bit. Trying to do what he can to get and keep heat in those things.
Yeah, unfortunately, those old bias ply tires were hard to get up to temperature, and sticker tires were not a good idea ever.
And Waltman has just looped it, and not. I mean, we made the Formula One comparison before. Not since Fernando Alonso have we seen somebody try to warm up their tires that aggressively to the point where they're spinning out. So it'll be Christopher Morris, Roger DeBold, Steven Leszczynski, Jake Waltman sliding again, and Chase Wilson. Your top 5 here for this restart. Again, only 14 drivers.
You see, what I think they should have done, instead of giving those guys a 1-lap penalty for not consuming alcohol, is make them use the chicane on the backstretch every 10 laps.
There you go.
That would have been a better idea.
Yeah, there you go. Let's have everyone stop right in the middle of the straightaway where everyone's going 210.
Why not? Practice wreck avoidance.
There you go. So it'll be Christopher Morris, Roger DeBold, Steven Leszczynski, Jake Waltman, Chase Wilson, Michael Grant, Damian Neeson, Shannon Spears, Kyle Newkirk, and Maurice Barry. The top 10 and on the lead lap. Justin Clapper, Bo Condon, Thomas Aaron, and Bradley Stefane are not on the lead lap, with Barry and Stefane in pit road. 15th on down, not participating any longer in today's events, as Waltman continues the aggressive tire warming.
He almost just clattered the side of the 99 to Leszczynski.
He's gotten close to a couple of guys here thus far.
Oh, look, twins. Grant and Waltman running the same paint scheme.
A&W root beer machine. Let's start this. Let's restart this run on board with. Let's go with Michael Grant, shall we?
Sure. Sounds like as good a place as any.
So on board with Michael Grant here for this restart. Green flag about to come out. There it is. There we go.
And we got trouble in the back. That's the 20 of Barry and the 14 of Newkirk getting into each other.
Everyone keeping it straight, though, as Christopher Morse continues on. Boy, Morse getting a big bump from the 6. That's not something these cars were designed to do. There's a reason why these cars have such a problem running in a pack.
Oh.
And this would be why, as there goes Morse off the front of the 6, the 21 involved, so is the 904. There's Condon. Chase Wilson gets out ahead, and they're piling in the back. 20 around, 14, 93. Caution somehow still has not come out. Chase Wilson and Steven Leszczynski right now. The only two guys racing for position, that's Justin Clapper in 8th, not on the lead lap, running with these guys.
How is that not a caution?
I'm not sure.
And that's one of them deals that, you mentioned this car doesn't...
It doesn't
drive. It doesn't drive like the modern cars do. It doesn't bump draft for crap.
6 barrel rolling up and over, the 904 running right into it.
Yeah, that was ugly with a capital UG.
Boy, 14 straight into it. 93 of Aaron actually doing his best to try to avoid that. But in any event, we keep going here at Daytona. There's the 63 of Justin Clapper looking to get his lap back on Chase Wilson.
Going to get it back the hard way is we've got a lot of guys with a lot of damaged cars right now. 3-car little breakaway here. It's Wilson and Leszczynski on the lead lap. Then you're 22 seconds or half a lap back to Michael Grant in the 904.
904 currently running in the 3rd position. Again, Clapper running in 8th, just trying to get his lap back at this point. And again, now the field being spread out. This is more akin to the racing that we saw in these cars. It was not big pack racing. His boy Chase Wilson almost lost that car completely coming through 3 and 4. It was single cars, little 2-car duels like we're seeing with Wilson and Leszczynski right now. This is what these cars did, not pack racing, not bump drafting.
And it was so easy to take the air off that little tiny spoiler back in the day that you got next to somebody, you could really mess up their day.
Wilson power sliding right now.
Well, the other thing, too, is you could lay these spoilers back. You heard back in the day that, guys would be sitting on pit road after they'd gone through tech, just leaning all their body weight on that spoiler to try to flatten it out.
Riding on board with Chase Wilson. Boy, big catch, save it. No.
And unsafe pin entry.
Yep, there it is. Keeps it straight, at least for the moment. That gives Steven Leszczynski the lead. And there is Wilson. So Steven Leszczynski now with the race lead. Everyone pretty well spread out. Only 2 drivers close to each other, for position at least, are the 2 drivers right ahead of the leader, the 21 of Roger DeBolt and Maurice Barry in the 14.
They are running 9th and 10th respectively. But, this race is... It's getting interesting. There we go.
Yep, and now the caution comes out. Field, I think, got spread out just a little bit too much. So the caution will fly. And what we'll do now is we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching the Case Cracker 200 here from the ThunderClap Stock Car iRacing Series. We'll be back right after this. Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Well, oh, they're wrecking! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the left coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
Hey, are you tired of your dog dragging in mud into your house? You got water laying in your yard? There's going to be a lot more water laying this spring. Now's the time to give us a call here at the office at 410-721-2342, and we'll be glad to take care of all your outdoor drainage needs.
Oh, you are not, you're not alone, no. Oh, you are not, you're not alone. You are not, you're not alone.
We go to the start-finish line for those four most famous words in racing.
A little discombobulated this evening as we come back to the Case Cracker 200 here for the ThunderClap Stock Car iRacing Series. This is not an official ThunderClap Series event. There will be no points handed out. This is just a for-fun night here with these guys as we are getting set to go back to green flag racing. The top six currently on the lead lap. That will be Kyle Newkirk, Chase Wilson, Justin Clapper, Stephen Leszczynski, and Michael Grant and Damian Neeson, all on the lead lap here at the moment. 13 of the 14 cars that started this main race are out on track. And Tony, going back to green, we're almost a quarter of the way through this.
Yeah, absolutely. As Neeson getting the recipient of the free pass award. Wilson going to lead us back to green, though. He's got Newkirk to his outside. And those two guys have had some troubles in the early going here. But so far, everybody's still running and still a lot of chances to get back on that lead lap. And as the green flag comes back out, I do want to remind everybody that if you want to play the at-home drinking game, every time we do go under caution or we talk about a car crashing, that's the pro version, is if every time a car bends it into the wall, you take a drink. If you want to play the less alcohol poisoning version,
yeah, if you want
every
to play
time a caution comes out.
Still side by side here. I think this is the furthest we've gone side by side here tonight with these guys.
Not for long.
It's Jake Waltman. Oh, around goes the 20 off the front of the 93. Waltman pushed up as well. DeBolt somehow keeps it straight. Not for long. 14-25 hard into it. Staying green, though, for the moment.
Wilson and
Clapper there. Only 2 for position up here at the front are Chase Wilson and Justin Clapper.
Dan Spears was trying to get his lap back the hard way. Clapper right now, though, right there within striking distance. Not getting into Wilson, but almost getting pushed himself by your pole sitter. He's not happy. Chris Morris is not a happy camper.
And he's 2 laps down at the moment. Same thing with the 69 of Spears. They are both 2 laps down. The 904 of Michael, pardon me, is that the 904? No, that's the 6 of Waltman on the inside. Waltman jumps up to the high lane. And into
the wall.
Steven Leszczynski, not ridiculously far behind these guys, still within shouting distance.
Is Waltman using a game controller?
I don't think so. It's the effect these cars can have, though. There's Leszczynski right there behind the pack. Oh, boy. Sliding big time coming out of turn 4. Clapper to the outside. Clapper looking for the race lead. Behind the 72 of Christopher Morris. He'll get it. Now he's clear. Big slide out of the 63. Gets pushed around by the 69 into the 6.
Save it.
No.
Good save.
69 did not. Clapper did. The 69 couldn't. You can run around this track at full song for about a lap or 2 before the back end starts to really give up. And, that was Bo Condon, I think. Was it Condon or was it the 20?
Yes. No, that was Condon.
There is Condon. Wow,
completely
that was a hard
ripping
hit.
the front off that car.
That was big for Condon. Not seeing the incident report, unfortunately.
You got it on my end. Oy.
So Chase Wilson right now currently out in front.
He was trying to avoid... Oh, wait, no, that wasn't that crash.
That was a little bit later. Oh, sorry, that was earlier, that one. 6 of Jake Waltman now getting his lap back on the inside of the 28.
I think you jinxed Bo. Because as soon as you start talking about you have to let off after a couple of laps or else the back end will wash out on you.
Well,
what happens going to 3, the back end washes out.
That's just how you got to drive these cars. As Waltman turning, the 72 are trying to at least. 72 turns back up.
One of them are missing a front tire now.
That would be the 6 of Waltman. Now there was a little bit of
tension.
Yeah, mispleasantries shared back and forth between the two after the sprint race. And that is clearly carried over into this race as Waltman gives up his fight to get back on the lead lap to mess with the 72's race.
Wilson and Leszczynski starting to form a little bit of a battle here, as we still only have 6 cars on the lead lap.
And this is the fun part about these cars is you see Justin Clapper a 1.5 seconds behind the race lead. However, by himself, he's running, he's figured out the line, he's got the car under control, he's catching the race lead right now, so it can be done. You're not reliant on the draft to try to make moves.
Absolutely not. It looks like Kyle Newkirk has bended again.
He has. Take a look and see what happened here with Newkirk. Up in the wall, 94. The 904, pardon me, catches a piece. 72 just does split the gap. So back up to the race lead here. Quarter distance gone here at Daytona. Boy, big wiggle out of the 63 of Clapper. It's so nice and refreshing, if I'm honest, to see a race that does not, at Daytona or Talladega, that does not rely on draft help.
Yeah, it absolutely is. This relies on driver skill and being able to read what your car is doing by whatever inputs you're getting, is force feedback through the wheel, force feedback through the pedals if you've got it. If you've got a butt kicker on there, that can aid your figuring out what the car is wanting to do as they work around the lap car of Bo Condon. Condon able to burn another fast repair, as there are unlimited fast repairs here tonight, so that's the good news. Clapper clatters the wall again.
Trying to get around the 25 of Condon. Now Condon is up in this group. By the way, as far as the main series goes for the ThunderClap Stock Car iRacing Series, the 99, the 63, and the 25, all teammates for Champion Motorsports. Chase Wilson not affiliated with the series. Again, this was an open race. Anyone can run. Again, with just the caveat of you have to down 6 during the race.
Or get a one-lap penalty at the beginning.
Well, no, I think, like I said, I think it was a success penalty for Waltman for winning the sprint race. Was why he started. I think everyone else elected to just start from the pits. So it would be my guess, at least.
Well, we can ask after the event. But right now, Lachinsky sticking with Wilson. A Ford leading a Chevy, and the Chevy of Justin Clapper in third, right there in the mix as well. Just giving those guys enough room that should something pop off in front of them, Clapper does have time to try to take evasive action. Your next closest battle on track is going to be back around 6th. That is Roger DeBold and Maurice Berry going after each other, going down the super stretch.
The 3 of Damian Neeson just took a hard right, or a hard left, towards the inside fence, trying to catch that number 3 Buick LeSabre coming out of turn 2. That's not the proper way to use that's not the proper way to use the chicane. No. I think he did get a couple of corner cuts, I think, would be in order there.
It absolutely is.
Maurice Barry looking to the inside. He'll get the position away from Roger DeBold. That for 6th. Christopher Morris right now becomes the first car 2 laps down. Barry and DeBold are the only 2 battling for position. They're the only 2 that can battle for position, since they're the only 2 1 lap down.
So that is actually the race for the free pass position.
Yeah, between the 14 and 21, yes.
Absolutely. And we've got a battle brewing for the top step of the podium, as Lachinsky is closed in and is giving pressure right now to Wilson as they come down the back chute one more time. They are fast approaching a lap car just coming out of the pits, and I didn't quite see who it was.
I don't quite have eyes on it. We heard him, but I think it might be...
That's the 69 of Spears.
Yeah, so Spears coming up. There goes the 69. Just a shot of these cars jumping up out of turn 4s. One that we saw on television for so long.
Oh, absolutely.
And continue to see highlights of.
And it has to go back to the way these cars were built. Hang on to her.
Hard into the fence on the outside.
Yes, he is. Completely ripping the right front suspension off of that car.
Yep.
That's going to hand second place over to Justin Clapper now.
See that suspension unit rolling down the backstretch wall on the outside. As now Chase Wilson starting to put some distance between himself and Justin Clapper. A gap that was about 9/10 of a second is now grown out to 2 seconds between the 63 and the 28. As Bo Condon looks...
It looks like the handle might be going away on Clapper 63 as Lachinsky finally gets it back to pit road.
And again, that is definitely something you have to concern yourself with, is the handling of these cars. It's not often today we talk about handling when it comes to Daytona and Talladega, but in this era, it certainly is. A key point is the 14 tries to bump draft with the 72, or that's the 03 on track at least, of Christopher Morse. Losing track position for both drivers, and again, that's not what these cars were meant to do. Take the run and slingshot is what these cars were meant to do. Jump on board with Roger DeBold, and you just heard that scrape. That's this car bottoming out through these corners. Jump onto the back straightaway at 199. Down into turn 3 at 212. You can just see how much DeBold is having to fight this car. Oh, a little bit of contact between the 72. He punts the 14. Somehow they're all still there.
And Liam Neeson just had his hands full. He hit Damian Neeson, sorry. Liam, one of our broadcast partners. Damian clatters the wall and completely rips the left front suspension off. Goes for a ride through the grass as he's trying to limp it back to his pit stall.
And that's unfortunate for him because he was running in the fourth position. Pardon me, but about 5 or 6 seconds behind Justin Clapper, but still he was there for a good little bit of time. Clapper has since returned back towards the back bumper of the 28. He's got the 69 of Shannon Spears to the outside. Now he's clear. So it's Clapper and Wilson one-on-one.
Absolutely is. It's 904 of Grant, 27 seconds to the rears of Clapper. And you got to wonder, when are they going to come in for service? Because, the handle is really starting to go away on Clapper's car.
It's that power slide through these corners that these cars do. And you're not seeing that slide much on the 25 or the 69 because they have been to pit road quite a bit more recently than Clapper has.
Clapper was last down on lap 3. As the 69 clatters the wall going into 1.
Oh.
Wow, what a shot. Oy.
It's what 195 miles an hour through these corners does. DeBold and Maurice
he was
Barry.
Still 170 when he tagged the wall.
Boy, Maurice Barry catching the wall out of 2, having to catch his car now through the grass on the backstretch. Roger DeBold, meanwhile, gets away with the 4th position scot-free. Battling with Christopher Morse for track position, nothing much else. The battle,
We've got 3 cars left on the lead lap. Wilson, Clapper, and Michael Grant being scored as the last car on the lead lap. Roger DeBold, the first car 1 or more laps down. Maurice Barry, Stephen Lachinsky, Christopher Morris Jr., Jake Waltman, Liam Neeson, Bo Condon rounding out your top 10 as they currently sit.
And that's not all that. This is not all that uncommon as we see Clapper and Wilson going side by side
for the lead.
For the race lead. Bo Condon.
Wilson got into the wall. Wilson tagged the wall a little bit coming through 3 and 4, and that let Clapper get the run. Clapper to the point.
Condon giving as much help to the 63 as he possibly could. Pushing Justin Clapper to the race lead. And remember, he was 2 seconds adrift with very little draft to show the non-reliance of these cars as Wilson on the outside by himself takes the run. Can't take it, though, going through 3 and 4.
Clapper got a little bit of help from Condon coming down the back chute. Side by side, almost getting into each other through 3 and 4. And Wilson back to the point as Clapper was fighting a loose condition and doing everything he could to try to stay off of Chase Wilson.
Again, it's not all that uncommon in this day and age to see huge, gigantic gaps in most of the field a lap down. These old races used to be a test of attrition, especially around Daytona and Talladega. These guys would get separated quite a bit, so this is not all that uncommon and not that far adrift from what we would have seen.
No, it absolutely is normal. I mean, I remember, one of the first races that I can recall, there were only 2 cars on the lead lap, and it was Richard Petty and the Wood Brothers 21, driven by the Silver Fox, and they had a full lap on the rest of the field.
We're seeing that. We're pretty much seeing that here tonight. As here is Michael Grant. Now, Michael Grant does have Thomas Aaron for company. Aaron currently running last as far as the guys who are still running right now. Good 14 laps off the pace is the number 93 right now. But the 904 of Grant is on the lead lap, running in third. There is Roger DeBold, still running with Christopher Morris. No real reason to fight him, seeing as though they're not on the lead lap. Or on the same lap, I should say.
All DeBold's got to do is keep it clean, and another caution comes out. Oh, hey! Condon hits the wall going into 1. But getting back to my point, all DeBold's got to do is keep it clean and hope for another caution to come out, and he'll be back in contention on the lead lap.
It's the 20 of Kyle Newkirk about to go another lap down.
Hopefully they're telling him that
yeah, there he goes.
He's blinking heavily.
That'll be -7 now for Newkirk. So we are just south of halfway here in this race. Boy, Newkirk having a time of it. As Justin Clapper works on Chase Wilson for the race lead.
We are fast approaching the halfway mark here. And Clapper might be coming pit side this time. Newkirk into the wall again.
Newkirk sliding the back end of that car around again. Once again, hard into the fence. Clapper continues on to your point of him possibly coming into pit. 25. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say only 2 retirements to speak of so far. Shannon Spears has put it on the hauler, and Bradley Stefane has put it on the hauler.
So Thomas Aaron will get another position at least in the 93 to bump him up to 12th. And as we sit, we are about to take halfway. We'll take a quick break, our final one of the night, and be right back, as I believe we have a gentleman's caution scenario here playing out.
That's what it looks like.
As far as the race leaders are concerned.
Halfway caution.
Yeah, the official iRacing caution has not come out, but I think what they're doing is a gentleman's caution to get everyone back up with each other. As they are down to pace speed. Michael Grant coming through 3 and 4. Thomas Aaron in tow. These guys will certainly have been warned that everyone's going pace speed in front of them. Lap cars are going to be getting laps back here to... Oi, yikes, watch out. Oh. Well, there you have that.
Good thing we didn't go to caution. Or go to break. Holy cow. Yeah,
So-
they're giving waiver rounds,
Yeah.
but apparently everybody getting a little over antsy there.
Yeah, so this is a gentleman's caution here halfway through. It's not an official iRacing caution. Guys are getting laps back. And I think the question is going to be how many laps back are they going to get? Roger DeBold now back on the lead lap. Maurice Barry coming around. He's still a lap down. Steven Lischinski a lap down still. Christopher Morse is 2 laps down.
And the 20 has ripped the right front suspension off.
Okay, so Maurice Barry back on the lead lap. Steven Leszczynski coming up to the group again now.
Oh. Okay, they're taking a 5-minute break for beer.
Okay, so there you go. So they're taking a break, and so are we. So it's basically watch out 3. There you go. So while these guys take effectively what was the old Truck Series halftime break, we're going to take a halftime break as well. We'll take a quick one. Be right back. You're watching the Case Cracker 200 presented by the ThunderClap Stock Car iRacing Series. We will be back right after this.
Hey, are you tired of your dog dragging in mud into your house? You got water laying in your yard? There's going to be a lot more water laying this spring. Now's the time to give us a call here at the office at 410-721-2342, and we'll be glad to take care of all your outdoor drainage needs.
Oh, you are not, you're not alone, no. Oh, you are not, you're not alone. You are not, you're not alone.
Thanks again, guys, for coming out for demo day here at Chaladon and just going over hip start and how it's going to improve your swing. Hip start is really a key factor in getting that proper downswing. The beauty of hip start is you can change your swing in less than an hour. Just put hip start on and you're going to notice a difference right away.
So before I was introduced to the hip start, my shots were kind of all over the place. Using the hip start, I definitely noticed more consistency and getting that great tactile feedback, knowing when the proper moment to snap your hits has really helped with getting my shot a lot more consistent. And I just feel more confident whenever I go out to the golf course with my friends.
Before you even grab a club out of your bag, we're using hip start to warm up. Put it on and get that feel and just fire the hips. Make sure that hip's turning and make sure the hip's firing through with hip start.
I'm able to hit the ball a lot straighter and a lot farther, and more importantly, consistently hit the ball. What I've seen today, I personally live by and swear by the hip start.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Oh, they're wrecking! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the left coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
Back here at the Daytona International Speedway for the Case Cracker 200 presented by the ThunderClap Stock Car iRacing Series. We are in a 5-minute hold here, effectively a halftime. Apparently some of these guys have lost their buzz and need to get it back. So Tony, why don't you explain what's going on in the driver's chat right now?
They're playing a drinking game called Thunderstruck. And the way you do this game, it's similar. If anybody's ever played the Roxanne drinking song, you know what I'm talking about. They're going to play the song Thunderstruck by AC/DC. And every time anyone says thunder in the song, you have to take a drink. Which means you're going to go through at least a beer just in the open. Just in the opening portion of the song, you're probably going to go through at least one beer.
So that is how they will be spending this 5-minute effectively halftime break. After that is done, we will know because the song will have ended and the cars will have started rolling again. The drivers that have been a lap down or more have gotten and are currently circulating the racetrack. As you see Thomas Aaron right now, here he is getting his laps back at the moment. Now, Thomas Aaron was one of the last cars running. He still has a good 4 or 5 laps to make up here in that 93, so he'll still be circulating for a little bit. But everybody else has gotten their laps back and will all effectively start anew here on this kind of elongated stage break-esque little halftime that we have here.
Yeah, they're going to be a total of 5 minutes to do their little drinking game to get their buzzes back. Those that are of age are doing so. Now, again, you don't have to drink to participate in this event, but if you are of age, it's highly encouraged. If you're of age, it's highly encouraged.
Yes.
And you know, this is just a way to blow off steam because, as we've mentioned numerous times, a lot of the guys that run with the ThunderClap Stock Car iRacing Series, found here on Wednesday nights on the Esports Broadcasting Network and Sim Racing Media, do work 9 to 5s or more in the racing industry. There are a few guys that work for the wheel and tire distributor for the NASCAR's top 3 divisions. There are guys that go over the wall for NASCAR's top 3 divisions. There are guys that work in fab shops. There are guys that work in engine shops. There are guys that build the shocks and springs for the spring packages for these cars. And I need to turn off my in-sim chatter because they're playing the song in sim right now.
There you go.
But this is a way for them to blow off steam. A lot of industries and businesses have a weekly bowling league. Well, these guys like racing more than they like bowling, so this is their version of a bowling or a softball team.
Seeing this shot off of Damian Neeson right now. This is on the bell housing cover in the chassis, looking up at Damian in his Buick LeSabre. As everybody currently on pit road right now, as we've informed. So looking at the back of Christopher Morrison, we have seen 60 laps of mental racing here at Daytona, and they're getting buzzed up again. Some of these guys felt as though the buzz was wearing off a little bit. They decided time for a little top up, I guess.
I mean, we are 50 minutes into the event, so yeah, I mean, I can definitely see where a buzz could wear off in that amount of time, depending on how much pre-gaming you did before we went live. But yeah, I mean, this is, I mean, there's no points on the line for tonight. It's just have fun drinking beers and playing a video game with your buddies.
Yeah, this is definitely a for fun night, as there you see the 93 of Thomas Aaron coming through. He has gotten all of his laps back now, so he is back on the lead lap. And if you're liking what you're seeing right now, he's continuing on. If you're liking,
but he's not supposed to be out on track.
Well, he's stopped. If you're liking what you're seeing right now, you can also double up on the tabs, because the Sunday Night NASCAR Series is in action right now. They are the first ever racing series to host a race at the New Atlanta that we are broadcasting. So the first ever race broadcasted on ESPN from the New Atlanta is the Sunday Night NASCAR League. Open up a new tab so you can have both of us going at the same time. Coming up tomorrow will be the CleanRacing.net Truck Series from Nashville Superspeedway, round number 2 of the season. For those guys, that'll be an 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time start. Then it will be the Tuesday night triple header. The Night Shift Racing League will run their second to last race of the season at Watkins Glen. That will be an 11:50 a.m. Eastern Time start. Then we head to the night. The Rick Motec Cup Series will open up their season at Daytona. This is the same series, same drivers from the Rick Motec Truck Series of earlier this year. However, they will be in the Next Gen Cup cars this year. That will be an 8:40 p.m. Eastern Time start for the Rick Motec Cup Series right here at Daytona. And then the nightcap will be the Western States Racing League, a 10:05 p.m. Eastern Time start for round number 2 of their season. That will be at Dover, round number 2 of season 47 for the Western States Racing League. And then on Wednesday, 2 races on Wednesday, the Ghost Xfinity Series debuts. Again, same guys as the Ghost Cup Series in the Xfinity Series cars this time. They will be right here at Daytona, 7:20 p.m. Eastern Time start for those guys coming up on the 13th of July. Also, the ThunderClap Stock Car iRacing Series will be running 8:10 p.m. Eastern Time this Wednesday night. The Xfinity cars at Homestead Miami Speedway, the second to last race of the regular season. As the car is now beginning to roll off, we are going to race back to the line here. And then once we get to the start-finish line, the caution will come out. So Thomas Aaron is well out in front. Jake Waltman currently holds the race lead here. Christopher Morris looking to the inside. Morris trying to get the run. So is Roger DeBold. A big shot from DeBold as he goes right through the 6, does Morse. The 6 somehow able to keep the car under control. Bo Condon cannot. The 6 of Waltman still trying to fight it. So is the 14 pushing him into the fence. Christopher Morse will come away with the win for the halftime race back around. And once again, we got guys needing new cars.
Well, that didn't take long.
No, it didn't. Thomas Aaron jumped out a little bit ahead of everyone. So
yeah,
Aaron,
he's going to get an EOL at the after they catch the pace car.
Yeah, Aaron is currently a lap ahead of the field, or about to be a lap ahead of the field if he continues much more. Currently on the same lap. So Christopher Morris will be the one starting from race lead. As Jake Waltman continues to sling his machine around. Roger DeBold, Maurice Barry there as well. Michael Grant looking clean and clear. Steven Liszczynski looking clean and clear, at least for the moment. Bo Condon and Justin Clapper, the only two that are not. And they are rolling off of pit road now.
That they are. We currently have 7 cars left on the lead lap, as quite a few had issues on that little one-lap dash from pit road to get to the yellow flag.
Kyle Newkirk, Chase Wilson, Damian Neeson, all electing to not take their laps, not get their laps back during that halftime break.
Slightly bizarre.
It's Thomas Aaron boxing. Same with the 6 of Jake Waltman. As far as Waltman's concerned, I'm sure it'll be for damage repair.
Waltman's got to do something about the handling of that car and maybe jack some wedge out of it.
Better stop wringing its neck, maybe. That might
That
help.
too. Yeah, that too.
Bo Condon will go around. He will get back on the lead lap. I'm sure Justin Clapper and Kyle Newkirk will get the same treatment. There goes Clapper. I'm showing Chase Wilson is no longer participating in the event here this evening.
That is because he has put it on the hauler.
In the 28, so the Ford who effectively won at halftime is down and out of this race.
I think I heard something about a league race that he had to get to.
That's fair enough.
Absolutely.
So now 11 drivers remain on track right now. Bo Condon and Justin Clapper have come back down pit road as the wave around cars. Kyle Newkirk in the 20. Waiting on him. There he is. Running full bore. Jake Waltman running full bore as well. As the 20 slams on the brakes.
Still 1 lap down.
Yep, and he's gonna keep his 1 lap down.
Oh, I'm sure we're not done seeing that dreaded yellow flag.
Very true. So Kyle Newkirk is the only driver not on the lead lap by 1 lap. Damian Neeson currently 3 laps down in that Kodak number 3 Buick. Other than that, everybody else is on the lead lap, and now Newkirk gets his lap back, so now it'll be Neeson is the only one not on the lead lap.
Bo Condon is not on the lead lap either.
Yeah, he had jumped to the pits just a moment ago, and he has may have a drink issue. As if all of these guys don't have a drink issue tonight, but I think
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Bo Condon trying to either get one or relieve himself of one. So again, it'll be Christopher Morris, Roger DeBold, Maurice Barry, Michael Grant, Steven Liszczynski, Jake Waltman, Thomas Aaron, Justin Clapper, Kyle Newkirk, Damian Neeson, and Bo Condon. Your current runners. So only 11 drivers remain here in this race. We started with 26. That fell to 19, and that has now fallen even further to 14, and we're down to 11 now. Justin Clapper.
11 still running.
Yes. So I believe we are going to go back to green flag racing here next time. Bo Condon is back out and rolling again. And we are doubling up here to get this second half of racing underway. So the gentleman caution got everybody back on the lead lap.
The drinking game got everybody their buzz back.
Yep, the drinking game, the race back to the line. And now we are set to go back to green flag racing here to see who will take home the Case Cracker 200, a first of its kind event for this series. And I'm sure this is going to turn into a continuous deal for the 4th of July for this series.
Absolutely. And I would like to see similar events for the rest of the major holidays. Christopher Morris going to have the button when we get ready to turn him back loose. He's got your points leader in the Wednesday night ThunderClap Stock Car iRacing series. Roger DeBold sitting to his outside, driving the only Buick Regal in the field tonight. Then you've got the Chevy of Maurice Berry and the Ford of Michael Grant. And then the Chevy of Stephen Lachinsky rounding out your top 5.
So go
ahead.
Getting set to go back racing. Bo Condon has caught up to the back of the field just. Pace car is off, and with 31 laps to go, we are back racing here at Daytona.
Not quite the getaway Christopher Morris was expecting, as he's gotten better ones previously. The 14 of Maurice Berry right on his back bumper. Roger DeBold using the top side to try to carry the momentum through 1 and 2. No real drafting help to speak of, but those two Fords lining up behind DeBold. And we know that Jake Waltman's Ford is about as stable as my last relationship.
Oh, Waltman Doring. The 72. That was of Christopher Morse. And again, these two have had it out for each other since the end of the sprint race. Boy, Waltman that time, that was not intentional, that one. Waltman just trying to keep his car on the track.
Thomas Aaron taking evasive action, goes down onto the apron, gets the spot away from Waltman. Waltman gets it collected, now deals with the 14 of Berry, and around goes the 904.
904 of Michael Grant. Going around, taking everybody behind him.
Stephen Lachinsky involved in that one. Thomas Aaron catches a race car to the face.
Kyle Newkirk up to 3rd. Jake Waltman's got it straightened out to 4th. Justin Clapper in 5th. Now the caution comes out. So what was a 2-car breakaway at the front of the field between Roger DeBold and Christopher Morse will now get called back.
Go back and look at that crash from Damon Neeson's onboard. Oh my goodness.
Certainly will do, but Michael Grant just saw him start to slide in the middle of the corner. And around, oh, I saw what you were looking at, as that was Stephen Lachinsky that took him. So on
he
board,
was just trying to catch the pack and missed.
That was on board of Neeson, and that's a little bit late. Apologies there. Here comes Neeson. Wreck happening in front. He is lifting. He is lifting. He is lifting. 99's coming down the track off the wall. That was a hard one.
Yes, it was.
And for all the the spinning and wrecking, and Tony, the grief you've given him in the chat. Kyle Newkirk is running in third right now.
Oh, no, he's definitely starting to turn his race around. He's finally getting a handle on this car. But I've got Newkirk. Oh, there it is, because...
second, because Morse coming into pit road. So is Waltman, Clapper, Liszczynski, Grant, all down pit road.
So, I mean, Newkirk up into second. Currently your biggest mover, plus 10.
Morse blew his box badly there. Liszczynski down and away. Neeson still waiting on the toe to finish before he can repair his car. Goes the 6 of Waltman out.
A lot of guys catching a piece of that last one.
63 of Clapper coming out. Roger DeBold, Kyle Newkirk, and Maurice Barry. The only 3 drivers that did not come down to pit under this caution.
Everybody else taking, looks like 4 in fuel, except for Liszczynski and Aaron. Those both took fuel only. But everybody else, 4 in fuel all the way around. And, you know, we touched on it earlier during the first segment. You really need the tires, because these bias ply tires are on such a ragged edge to begin with. Anytime you can come down to get 4 fresh ones, you need to do it.
Absolutely. And I mean, we've seen, like I said earlier, you can only get about a lap or 2 of flat out racing around here before you have to let off, and you're not even going to get that in the field. Now, there is a key and there is a trick on how you let off and how much you let off and where you let off to 1, keep the back end under control, 2, to not find yourself in the fence, and 3, to go quick. But there's it's been the common thread of the night. This is not an easy car to handle.
Far from it. This is probably one of the most ornery cars on a super speedway that there are in the entirety of the iRacing server. I can think of only one car that's more of a handful than this, and that's the Lotus 49.
Yeah, just about. Seeing the...
I mean, even the COT car that you can take the restrictor plate off is just a tick easier to drive than one of these things at speed.
It'd be the original Cup car here for iRacing, that would be. Current in-sim conditions right now, just past 7 o'clock in-sim time. Wind gusting up at about 10 miles an hour. Directly eastward still. 80-degree track temperature, so that's going down as the sun goes down as well.
Well, the good news is with that wind, the direction that it's in, these guys are getting a tailwind down the back chute.
And that would also mean a lot higher speeds going into turn 3. It was already difficult to get into in the first place, as Roger DeBold gets a great start. 14 of Maurice Barry trying to take advantage over Kyle Newkirk, who's having connection issues on the outside in the 20.
The bad news for Barry is he's got the front end of that car caved in. Oh, we're not done yet.
Oh, maybe not. Boy, nice. Morse and Waltman, around goes Morse.
Up into the air goes Morris. Good grief.
Back of the car coming up. That's another feature of these cars, or one feature that they're without, is the
roof flap.
Roof flap. Clapper hard into the wall.
Newkirk in the lead. Congratulations, Kyle. You got a handle on it.
There you go. Roger DeBold behind him. Jake Waltman, Maurice Barry there as well. Steven Leszczynski about a second off of this group. And again, these cars are faster single than they are in a pack. Just the way you have to drive these cars and the way you have to really try to maneuver, be careful in a group. It's just you're quicker by yourself. As Waltman moves up into second place now to the outside of Kyle Newkirk coming out of 4.
Into the wall off of 4 goes Waltman.
Oh, Waltman!
And around goes Newkirk.
Newkirk up and over, crossing in front of the field. Gets it righted. Barry, Roger DeBold to the race lead. Maurice Barry to second as Waltman had to back off, and that was a case of Waltman thinking he was clear. Cutting right in front of the 20. Now Thomas Aaron coming up with Steven Leszczynski in tow.
Aaron with a good head of steam works to the inside of Waltman going into 3. Waltman hemmed up by the 14 of Barry as Aaron up into second, still carrying that momentum. Was about 5 miles an hour faster than the rest of them going into turn number 3 as now Waltman works to the inside of Barry.
Waltman looking to try to get that third position back, and Thomas Aaron had one heck of a run to go from 4th to the lead. To go from 4th to 2nd right there, as that was Christopher Morris, that was stopped on the apron in turn 1. Roger DeBold on the outside out of turn 2. Boy, look at Waltman dive to the inside.
Waltman sends it to the inside of Aaron going through 3 and 4. Aaron hemmed up by Roger DeBold. Looking to make it 3 wide, thinks better of it coming off of 4. DeBold with the drafting help. Waltman on the inside all by his lonesome. DeBold drops down to throw the block on to Waltman. We've got 57 in the books.
It was Damian Neeson coming down into pit road, heavily damaged in that number 3 Buick LeSabre as Thomas Aaron loses control. Keep it straight, doesn't hit anyone other than himself.
Just touched the apron going into 1, and that really sent that car around.
And then there were 4 up in the top group.
DeBold, Waltman, Barry, and Leszczynski all up in there. Leszczynski dropping back just a little bit as it's getting chippy in front of him. Wants to give himself time to make evasive actions if he has to.
Oh.
Barry and Waltman side by side. Waltman goes into the grass, down onto the apron, back up on track, pointed in the right direction. That's going to let Leszczynski reel him back in.
That's that sober car control right there for the 6.
That ain't no lie.
Did make contact with the 14, however, and that has pushed him back in front of Steven Leszczynski. How about Maurice Barry, by the way? Maurice Barry, coming into this race, he is the only one of these guys that are up here in the top 8 right now that is not affiliated with ThunderClap, running in second, as look at the run that Waltman and Leszczynski are about to get. Oh, DeBold hard into the wall.
And catches Barry.
Bo Condon.
Unfortunate.
Bo Condon just barely missing that. Barry going into the pits. Trying to see what happened with Waltman here, or pardon me, with DeBold.
Caught the apron going into 3, it looked like.
Yeah, but he's already around there. See if we can get a better look here. There's, just lost it. Lost it in 3 and 4. Back end came around.
So at least Jake Waltman in command. Steven Leszczynski in second. Leszczynski, your current biggest mover, plus 15, currently sits in second place.
If I were Leszczynski, I would start to back off a little bit because there's a car in front of the 6 right now, and that is his old buddy, Christopher Morris.
Oh, no.
And Christopher Morris, another driver not affiliated with the ThunderClap series.
Not affiliated yet, but from what I've seen out of him tonight and out of Maurice Barry tonight, they would be great additions to the league.
Absolutely. As the caution has come out and around. Wow.
Oh. That was a brake check gone wrong.
I was just about to say, and it was saved because the caution came out. You can see the right front suspension has vacated that Ford Thunderbird of Jake Waltman. Part of the reason why he's back in the fence. I was hoping that was not going to happen.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, and that was Morse. You heard on board of Morse. That was a brake check. Threw the brakes on, and there you go. Take a look out the back of the 72.
Oh no.
This has been a running rivalry, again, between these two since the end of the sprint race. And that was clear what happened there. And again, the 14 of Maurice Barry is just an unfortunate bystander.
Thomas Aaron getting waved around the pace car for some odd reason.
Probably the lucky dog there.
He wasn't a lap down. Oh, yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. My bad. So in the in-sim chatter, there's a lot of going back and forth.
I'm sure there is. And we know tensions get heated to begin with in these races.
Oh yeah.
But especially when there's no points on the line, it's all for fun.
There's a little bit of cash being thrown into the kitty.
Yeah, there is a cash prize here tonight as well for the race winners. Winner take all tonight.
That's if you bought in.
True.
But, this is what happens when you get, 14 Type A personalities in the same simulator. You're bound to have tensions running high.
Well, it's especially that, and also add alcohol into the mix as well.
Exactly.
Can't say that for Waltman, at least, but...
Nope, and it was just explained to the rest of the field that the only way Jake Waltman would be legal to drink is if you flipped his age backwards.
So it has gotten quite interesting here in this race, and Roger DeBold coming out of pit road now in the 21. He will remain on the lead lap. Kyle Newkirk coming, or thought he was at least. He currently sits 2 laps down at the moment. Michael Grant in the race lead. The 3 of Damian Neeson is ahead of the line in his Buick LeSabre. He will be sent around the field now, unless he's getting an EOL.
Nope.
So the 3 of Damian Neeson will head around to get one of his laps back. Christopher Morse getting a lap back as well in the 72. So it'll be Michael Grant starting on the inside of the front row, Jake Waltman on the outside, and we make that distinction because of the paint schemes that those two are running. So close, it's as if they're identical.
Go figure. And it says you have to, beer is allowed. Well, technically, beer is allowed. That's root beer.
Looks like Michael Grant taking an EOL here, so Bo Condon will be sent up to the front.
Roger DeBold getting into the wall as he locked it down.
There's DeBold there.
And I guarantee you he just flat spotted all 4 of those Goodyear Eagles.
Take a look real quick and see what happened with DeBold coming down the back straightaway. I know we're going, but
all right.
Locking it down, catching the field. Whoa,
Christopher Morris might be cold trickling the field here as he comes off a turn 4 with a good head of steam.
Slows down, gets back in line. Bo Condon leading the group. Green
Three
flag
wide.
is in the air, and yep, Morris did not waste any time running right into the back of the 6.
That was shot 1.
Not sure, that might have been a block. Now Morris, we saw, had a lot more momentum off of that start, so that might have been the 6 coming up to block.
He was just trying to hold his line going through the stripe.
Bo Condon to the inside. Thomas Aaron looking to the outside. Steven Leszczynski trying to find a way through it all.
Leszczynski into the wall and down into the 14, back up into the wall. Oh, and into Chris Morris.
So that at least gives Waltman a little bit of a reprieve, at least for the moment. 15 laps to go at the line. It's Condon and Waltman.
Condon on the inside, Waltman on the top side. Condon has Barry down on the, Aaron on the low side. Barry goes to the top side with Waltman.
Justin Clapper, the 5th car in this group. Look at the 14 of Maurice Barry. Big block by the 6 of Waltman.
And that's how you end up getting turned. Is the 25 Condon sideways into Aaron. Clapper catches a race car to the face. They're both into the wall.
That leaves
and the yellow comes out.
Yep, there it is. So Condon comes sliding off the wall. Jake Waltman, Maurice Barry. Again, we had mentioned the only driver not affiliated with the series in any way, shape, or form. Running up in the top 9, or running up at the top 8. Christopher Morse, not affiliated with the series, running 9th. Kyle Newkirk, not affiliated with the series, running 10th. Actually, no driver that is not affiliated with the series is out of the top 8.
Waltman having connection issues.
See the connection issues he has. Oh, and around goes Waltman off the nose of DeBold. Watch out. Oh.
Thomas Aaron giving DeBold a shot.
It's kicking off now.
Good grief.
So Maurice Barry currently leads. Everybody else is going to come in either for tires or damage repair or to cool off.
Most from column A, part from column B, and a little bit of column C to be thrown into the mix.
Clapper with an entertaining entry into pit road. Steven Leszczynski coming in as well. Well, almost.
All right, then.
So again, Maurice Barry, all of the drivers in the ThunderClap series are running 2 through 8. Only one beating him out, Maurice Barry. It's been an incredible night for that number 14.
Throw back to one of the old cars when DW went over to Hendrick for the first time. That was DW's ride that took him to his first Daytona 500 win.
To the Daytona 500.
And I remember the DW doing the icky shuffle in Victory Lane.
One of the classic clips that gets shown every year at the 500. So it'll be Maurice Barry, Thomas Aaron, Roger DeBold, Bo Condon, Justin Clapper, Jake Waltman, Michael Grant. Here comes Grant out of pit road, Steven Leszczynski.
And suddenly a wild Bo Condon appears.
Yep, in the pits.
A wild Bo Condon has appeared.
In the booth.
I just wanted to check on you guys and make sure you're having a great time.
Of course we are. We are seeing some great racing in the midst of the wrecking and confusion. But yes, we are having quite a time.
Well, As far as I'm concerned, I don't know how
again.
we got 8 on the lead lap, so I got about 16 on the lead lap. That's what I can see. And there's two 63s driving in front of me. I got two 72s driving in front of me. And I got to tell you, Laguna Seca is looking good out here. Laguna Seca is really nice. It's a good track. And I'm glad we come here every year.
What are you right now? 6 out of 10?
Well, I finished my 6 when we were still building the practice lobbies.
There you go.
Yesterday.
And how far did you make? How far did you make it through the drinking game?
Wanted to thank everybody for jumping on here. It's been an absolute blast. I hope it's been fun to watch. I know that we've been absolutely all over the place, but you know, it's not our fault.
Waltman is about to get turned in front of you, so be careful.
Waltman has about every single one of us with a black spot. I mean, it's coming. That's why I took the EOL.
Good idea. You might want to back off just a little bit and then give Morse some room to. Oh, jeepers!
Oh my God!
Extend the caution.
I saw the air boys and I made it through.
Extend the caution.
Oh man, that was I made it.
You might want to extend the caution though.
No, he said we're going. They caught up.
Okay.
All right, very good. Here we go. Thank you, boys.
No problem. So that was Bo Condon.
Oh, no.
11 laps to go here on this restart. And Waltman still getting pushed by the 72. And around he goes. Still in the grass.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
I know this is a for fun race, but there's a point. There comes a point where both drivers have to be sat in timeout.
Well, Morris made the comment after he got wrecked the last time by Waltman that Waltman was not going to finish the race in one piece.
Well, I mean, that's, like I said, that's gone on since the sprint race earlier on. Is Maurice Barry trying to hold off Roger DeBold right now?
Or Chevy's at the front of this piece. Matter of fact, your top 6 are now all Chevys. As you got Barry DeBold, Aaron Clapper, Condon, Lachinsky, and Grant. As that was ugly.
Watch out, Bo, trying to slide up, trying to keep out of the side of Thomas Aaron. Somehow these guys still going straight. 10 laps to go.
Well, blanket over your top 5 right now is Clapper and Aaron go side by side, and here comes the 25 of Condon.
Yep, Condon went to the inside after DeBold tried to bump draft Maurice Barry. Can't do that in these cars. Barry going to the extreme high lane. DeBold to the bottom, 3 wide coming out of turn 4.
And there
goes DeBold
into pit road speed.
Hard into the pit wall. Goes Roger
Clapper goes
DeBold.
airborne.
Watch out.
Clapper goes airborne. Maurice Barry goes through
cautions out.
Through the road course portion.
Ooh, that's just a Clapper upside down.
Yes, it was. And Clapper has hand grenaded the engine in that Chevy.
Michael Grant also going around there. A lot to dissect. So let's go through it. Roger DeBold. So let's go through it. Roger DeBold.
Morris got sent again by Waltman.
Well, there we saw what happened to DeBold. Here's what happened with Clapper, and they're already around. Maurice Barry and SDK. Yep, there's, you saw there at the top of the picture, Morse going around again.
Frank, what do you say we step away and pay a couple of bills?
No, I think all right, we'll do a quick one here. You're watching the ThunderClap Stock Car iRacing Series. Just a couple of laps to go here at Daytona. We'll be back right after this. drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Oh, the wreck-it! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the West Coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
Back here at the Daytona International Speedway, under caution again. Now we'll try once again to show you these incidents here. It's going to be coming out of turn 4 with Roger DeBold. If no, it's already happened. Again, we'll try Justin Clapper, see if we can get a solid enough replay. No, we cannot.
Even with that change I told you to make?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, there's that.
Did you hit enter when you did it?
I did, yes. So, Bo Condon, Thomas Aaron, Stephen Lischinski, Jake Waltman, Maurice Barry, your top 5 going into this restart. Christopher Morris has gotten his laps back, so he is back on the lead lap. Kyle Newkirk has also gotten his laps back in the 20. Justin Clapper getting a lap back, as he was the one that was way down there on the bottom.
He's got to get 2 of them back.
Yeah, so this caution will be extended a little bit. The 3 of Damian Neeson is there as well. He is multiple laps down, but doesn't appear to be too keen on taking them. So everybody on track right now is on the lead lap, except for Clapper, who's getting his lap back, and Damian Neeson. Everyone else is on the lead lap and will be fighting for this win with what I would assume to be 4 to go when we go back to green flag racing.
Which should be the case if we go lights out this time. And lights do go out on the pace car. Condon going to have the button. And there's a couple of stragglers still trying to catch up. Justin Clapper coming in hot right now.
Last Ride Racing in the chat, by the way, Thomas Salerso did not start the sprint race, so no, he has not been here. Hasn't been here for quite some time, as a matter of fact, as I believe we do have Bo Condon back, as Clapper getting another lap back here.
Yeah, y'all watch this drive. We're about to see the air. We're going to come away with this W.
Well, would
either we'll be in the victory lane or Lake Lloyd. There is no in between.
Bring me the trophy or bring me the steering wheel.
That's the plan.
I think there's a couple of haulers and garages and stuff between, but anyway, that doesn't matter.
My only concern is what's going to pop off behind you.
I already told the guys that because I am restarting first, that is how I know I am not going to win.
I mean, you're not wrong.
No, you're not.
Is it because they like to hit you in the butt?
I believe it is directly. That's my crew chief, Bob Condon, behind me.
Hi, Dad.
Pinch your hiney cheek so they can't hit you in the butt.
That's what I have clinched. I am ready to go. I have no damage. And it's about time to go. Oh, Clap's yelling. Hold on.
Yeah, all right. Yep, go for it. Going back for it here. Goes Bo Condon in the 25, currently out in front of this thing. Michael Grant has brought it down pit road. And Justin Clapper getting his lap back here. So now he is back on the lead lap. Again, the only driver not on the lead lap is the 3 of Damian Neeson. We will have 3 laps to go when we go back to green flag racing. So it'll be a green, white checkered here for the Case Cracker 200.
Little short track Saturday night dash race here for all the marbles. Condon, Aaron, Lachinsky, Waltman, Barry, Morse, Newkirk, DeBold, Clapper, and Grant. All 10 of your lead lap cars. 10 cars still running in this piece. Damon Neeson in the lone Oldsmobile in the field, the 3. The only one not on the lead lap currently. So as the field works, go ahead. And just like that, he's back on the lead lap. Now he's getting one of his laps back anyways.
He's getting one of his laps back. He's still about 5. But
a little late on the release there.
We've had a little bit of everything here tonight. We've had a sprint race. We've had a halftime. Now we've got a dash. So it'll be Bo Condon leading, Thomas Aaron, Stephen Luschinski, Jake Waltman, Maurice Barry. Your top 5 here. 3 laps to go. Pace car is off. Green flag is back out. The final dash for the Case Cracker 200 underway.
Almost 3 wide on the restart as the 93 of Aaron spun the tires just a little bit. Waltman had to check up just slightly, stacked up that outside lane as now Aaron to the point, got the nose out in front of Condon. Condon on the low side, battles back. Waltman trying to find a hole right now, as does the 99 of Lachinsky. Aaron and Lachinsky both tied for biggest mover.
Oh!
And around goes Aaron. And around.
6 trying to give a bump draft. Did not work out for him. There goes Morse into the fence. Oh, somebody really flipping. Roger DeBold flipping down the back. Justin Clapper, Kyle Newkirk. 3-car breakaway up here at the front with 2 laps to go.
Condon showing the way. Lachinsky to his outside. Lachinsky turns Condon.
Lachinsky gets into him. He has the race lead now. Condon well off. It's a duel between Lachinsky and Waltman. Lachinsky just about hitting the fence coming out of turn 2.
Condon hit turn 1 wall, very similar to how Jeff Gordon hit Pocono in 2001.
That's might have been 2004 as the caution has come out.
When was the first year of the COT?
No, that was before the COT.
Okay, it was the year that they implemented the Hans device and containment seats, which was the end of 2001.
Well,
anyways, we are back under caution, and we have a lot of torn up race cars, and we are going into overtime. 3 possible attempts at a green-white checker.
That's what happened with Thomas Aaron. There's Roger DeBold flipping.
It's one of those scenarios where you're sitting in the infield care center and, well, Doc, the last thing I remember was dirt sky, pretty nurse.
On board looking out the back. Yeah, that's a ride.
Not one I'd want to take. Imagine if he was in VR.
I don't want to. And then here's what happened with Condon. He's going to get a shot coming out of the tri-oval here from Lachinsky in the 99. There's the shot. Goes through the grass. Can't turn, can't brake. Pancakes the right side of the car into the fence.
All right, done.
Waltman, Wyszynski, Barry, Grant, Morse, Condon, top 6.
And I can guarantee you nobody's happy with Jake Waltman right now.
So we've heard. Justin Clapper getting a lap back. Roger DeBolt is going to be getting one back as well.
Looks like DeBolt's going to need 2. Newkirk, Aaron, both 2 down now after having to tow.
Green-white checkered scenario here, so
Green flag will come out, and they are going to race it back to the start-finish line.
Hopefully.
If the leader, hopefully, if the leader crosses the start-finish line to accept the white flag, we're racing back to checkers. If not, we're going to rack them, stack them, and try it again. Possible 3 attempts. If the end of those 3 attempts, we still haven't gotten back to the checkers, field frozen, we're finishing under caution.
So it is all coming down to this. We'll get at least one more lap of pacing here. Justin Clapper coming out of pit road. Roger DeBold still working on getting laps back. He'll get another lap back here to get him back on the lead lap. Kyle Newkirk and Thomas Aaron still waiting on tows. DeBolt is slowed up behind the field, so he is remaining one lap down, at least for right now.
Lights are out on the pace car.
So we will go back to green flag racing here at the end of this circulation. Waltman on the inside of row 1, Lyszczynski on the outside of row 1. Maurice Barry on the inside of row 2, Christopher Morris the outside. Bo Condon the inside of row 3, Michael Grant outside row 3. It's how these guys will line up for what we hope is the final time.
And it doesn't look like Morris wants to go to the outside.
Yeah, Morris sticking to that inside.
Okay. Looks like Barry is going to give him a clean shot at Waltman coming off of 4. So hold your hats, boys and girls.
Oh, there you go.
Place your bets. How many barrel rolls is Waltman going to do?
You would hope none, but hey. So we've seen a sprint. We've seen dashes. We've seen an endurance. We've seen halftime. We've seen a sprint, and now we're seeing a dash. Well, we're seeing overtime. Here at Daytona, there goes the 6 of Waltman back under green to begin overtime.
As Morris pushing Barry up there to try to get into Waltman. Barry going to open up the door for Morris. Going to be wise if he backed off, and the field is backing off because they know what's coming. Is
DeBold around in the back.
Lyszczynski and DeBold get into each other.
This is for the race win. Jake Waltman in front in the 6. Christopher Morris, boy, isn't this racing. The two guys that have had a problem with each other all night as Bo Condon gets loose going into 3 and hits the outside wall.
Morris all over the back bumper of Waltman. We are racing back to checkers.
Think back to 2012 with Jeff Gordon and Clint Boyer. The issue they had at Phoenix. They raced around each other all night at Homestead. There goes Waltman into the fence. Christopher Morse out in front. Barry second, Clapper third. Coming through turns 3 and 4. He had the fastest car in qualifying, has been up at the front the entire sprint race, trying to get laps back, trying to get back up to the front. Christopher Morse wins the Case Cracker 200 from Daytona. Maurice Barry comes home second, and the ThunderClap guys get shown up by 2 newcomers here tonight.
Yeah, but I mean, if you take a look at the I rating of those 2 guys that came in and cherry-picked this race, yeah, I mean, Christopher Morse Jr., 48.52. That is, top tier, top split A-class racing right there. But Justin Clapper does get the bottom step of the podium. That's his best finish yet this season that we've seen.
Bottom step of the podium, but top step amongst the ThunderClap guys. As there's the 14 of Maurice Barry. We saw him flick it into the grass at the end. Michael Grant comes home in 4th. You just saw him pass by. And right now, Tony, if we can find him, I believe we're looking for the 72. But for right now, here you see Christopher Morse, your race winner here tonight in what has been quite a night here at Daytona in these 87 cars. As Tony, I believe you have one of the drivers, I believe, hopefully Christopher Morse.
Nope, I actually have the chief cook and bottle washer of the ThunderClap Stock Car iRacing series that you can find here every Wednesday night on the Esports Broadcasting Network. In our 3rd place finisher tonight, Mr. Justin Clapper. And Justin, best finish we've seen out of you so far. Congratulations on getting a podium.
Well, I appreciate it. Apparently it takes, hang on, let me get my count down here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 11 beers to get me there.
Well then, I think we've started a new trend for Wednesday nights now.
It appears so. Man, what a night, boys. A lot of cautions. I know not many people enjoy seeing that, but we threw them where they were needed. Obviously, you threw a little bit of alcohol in the mix of what legal drunk driving can be here on iRacing, and you kind of get the results like that, especially in these 87 cars, man. Really, really loose on entry, and the looser your grip gets on the wheel, the harder they are to save.
Notice that, and this car is not the easiest to save in the best of times anyways.
No, not at all. And man, it was that 63 Case Cracker 200 Chevrolet was a rocket ship, man. I mean, once it got moving, it handled great and it got through. I just kept getting caught up in other people's messes all night long. But I mean, this has got to be the fastest I've ever run in a race of just feeling competitive and comfortable with the car. But I actually getting myself in position is what hurt me. And cautions waving the way they were, battling with, I believe it was the 28, if I'm not mistaken there. I kept calling it the GTA car. But, man, early on in the race, we had a great time. And after the halfway break there and a couple drinking games there to kind of split things up, it got even more wild out there. But a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. We did see a few tempers starting to flare there at the end. But, all in all, from what we saw, there was some great action going on track. A lot of side-by-side stuff. And, something that we don't normally get to see normally when we do broadcasts is the fact that, a solo car can actually sometimes be faster than cars in a pack.
Yeah, it was kind of different racing these compared to anything else that we're used to seeing nowadays with the trucks, Xfinity, and Next Gen Cup cars. If you got out solo and you just kept a steady line, you could pull away from guys that were racing side by side. And here at Legacy Daytona, compared to the current layout, it was almost like racing, I would say, like a Kansas when the bottom is prevailed. You really had a lift on entry, and as soon as you got back in, I'd say very similar to even a Chicagoland. It's just the top was not the place to be. It was so loose. It would just snap you right around when you got up there. So if you just keep a steady line down there and keep in it, but you definitely had to lift in these corners.
Very much so. And Justin, if any of our listeners want to get involved in the ThunderClap Stock Car iRacing series, as there are 2 rounds left in the regular season, and then we go into the playoffs there, how do they how do they go about getting involved?
Yeah, so unlike the mayhem that was tonight, we actually do put on a serious league every Wednesday evening, beginning at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We start our practice session up, followed by 8:20 qualifying session, at 8:30 drivers meeting. We grid at 8:35. We alternate between the 3 touring series, Chuck Xfinity and Next Gen Cup cars. You can find us on Facebook as well as Instagram, but Facebook is where we're most commonly found at ThunderClap Stock Car iRacing Series. If you're looking to be a member or a sponsor or anything of the sort, you can email us at thunderclapracing@gmail.com or find myself, Justin Clapper, Clapper, yes, like clap on, clap off, or Bo Condon, Condon, on Facebook. You can private message them, and they'll gladly get you in on that information that you need. It is a $40 entry to that league. We take things very serious. We have paid race control. These guys, Tony and Frank, do a phenomenal job every week. I mean, I could not be happier with the job that they do. And ESBN and Sim Racing Media and the rest of the guys that have our backs week after week. So thank you guys for what you do. And if you're looking to join, give us a shout. We'd love to have you. We average about 30 cars a field, so we could always use some more.
Now, I want everybody to pay attention to something you said a couple minutes ago. He says you do have to lift in these corners, and I just want us to go back and look at the replay where he did not lift in the corner and sent his boy through the darn infield.
And
So
that would be a wild
Wednesday.
Bo Condon showing up for that one.
Something's coming Wednesday. You better watch out, sir.
But anyways,
Miami.
Getting back to things, Justin, is there anybody else you need to thank before we turn you loose?
Just shout out to Eagleswood Creations with my mom's company there. You can check her out at eagleswoodcreations.com for all your creative engraving needs, as well as we actually are under new management at Champion Motorsports. So a shout out to myself, the new not only commissioner of the ThunderClap Stock Car Racing Series, but the new manager and owner of Champion Motorsports. We will be rebranding soon with a very unique name to be announced here in the coming months. But, man, shout out to you guys, honestly. Thank you guys for putting this broadcast on for us. Shout out to teammate Bo for helping put this together, and all the amazing drivers that showed up last minute tonight. We couldn't do it without you guys, so cheers. And Bud Light next. We'll give them a shout out too.
Justin Clapper, congratulations on the podium. We'll see you Wednesday night.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And Frank, I believe you've got the man of the hour, Christopher Morse Jr., with you now.
We do, Christopher. Quite a night. You started up on pole here tonight. A little bit of a kerfuffle at the end of the sprint race there, but still found yourself in a position to come out and win the feature.
Yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. I don't like having to race that way, but sometimes you gotta do it that way.
Yeah, just tell us about how difficult it was to control these cars tonight. It did appear to be quite wild out there, especially with the old ridgy, bumpy surface.
Yeah, it's definitely not like any of the other NASCAR stuff on the sim. I've been racing those things since they came out, so I've got a lot of seat time in them, I guess you could say. I'm pretty used to them, so I I wouldn't say they're super difficult to drive on their own, but when you got someone right on you, right on your outside or whatever, I mean, once the tires lose grip and you're sliding, you're just hanging on for the ride. I mean, as you guys saw, I got turned off the front of the six a few times from him pushing me into the corner. But, I mean, guys know what they're doing. And like I said, I don't like having to race that way, but you got to teach these kids lessons sometimes.
It would appear so. And again, you found yourself in the right position at the right time there at the very end. And I'm sure to ask you if there was any doubt of what you were going to do and if you were coming away with a win would be a waste of time. But a very, very solid
Listen,
night.
I told him halfway through the race exactly what was going to happen. He made some comment that I didn't know how to wreck him. And I said, I'm not trying to wreck you. I'm just letting you know that it's coming on the last lap, because I knew it was going to happen. I knew people were going to get out of the way. I knew it was going to. I didn't know it was going to be for first by any means. I didn't even know it was going to be on the lead lap. But I mean, yeah, no, he had to know what was coming.
Yeah. So we look now again. Do you have a? Are you thinking about possibly joining the series full time now that you've come in and beaten at least some of the guys, or do you think your Wednesday nights are still going to be free?
Man, I work about 60 hours a week, so weeknight racing, it's pretty tough. I don't know if I would be invited with open arms. This was a fun race. I kind of expected to get kicked after a little while. Obviously, Jake and all them are friends. And again, this is just a fun race. Anybody who's watching this going, oh, it's crap racing like that. I mean, there's no hard feelings here. It was all for fun.
Well, let's find out. We got Justin Clapper in here with us still.
There you go. Justin, you want me to
put
come
him
race
on the
Wednesday if I can
put
make
him
it?
on the spot like
Hey.
that.
Hey, you're more than welcome to join us, my man. Just know I'm a lot more lenient than our race control, Justin White. Shout out to him taking some time away from our chaos tonight.
Yeah, you would have been parked about an hour ago if he were in control.
Yeah. Trust me, a lot less would have gotten away with tonight if he was here.
No, trust me. If it was a legit league race, I wouldn't have done anything like that. But I'm telling you, after like the third or fourth time he wrecked me, I was like, seems to be the way we're doing things. So, you know?
Well,
it is what it is, I guess.
With that, Christopher Morris, congratulations, bud, on the win. And that will pretty much do it for our broadcast here tonight. Tony, one heck of a race that we saw here tonight, and just a lot of fun all the way around.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the second time now that we've been able to broadcast an 87 Cup Car race from Daytona. And, anytime that we were able to bring out these old cars on the black bias ply tires with the railroad springs under the front end, that they're going to bounce. They're ornery in a draft. There's no rear spoiler. There's no restrictor plate that we know of that is similar to the modern restrictor plates. So, I mean, these cars are always fun to watch, and it can bring back so many memories, especially with all the guys running retro or retro-inspired paint schemes tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll take a look now at the finishing results for this race. Again, only the top 14 drivers actually running in the feature race. Christopher Morse Jr. coming away with the win. Maurice Barry second. Justin Clapper rounding out the podium in third. Michael Grant, Stephen Leschinski rounding out the top five. Jake Waltman, Bo Condon, Roger DeBold, Thomas Aaron, Kyle Newkirk. The top 10, Damian Neeson, Chase Wilson, Shannon Spears, and Bradley Stefane, the competitors for the main and final race here tonight, rounding out the 14-car field. So for my broadcast partner, Tony Trapasso, I am Frank Marchese. Thank you very much for making us a part of your evening. Head on over to the Sunday Night NASCAR Series. They are at Atlanta right now. Our first broadcast from the new racetrack at Atlanta. Go check those guys out. Give them some love. But until Wednesday night, we will talk to you later. Have a great night, everybody.